Coming up, Tom and Scott answer, what's up with the crypto giveaway?
What's up with the crypto giveaway?
Yeah. Comparing brokerage platforms, where to find $500,000. Your calls as we end with a look at today's markets. Our first letter is from Larry, who asks, why are you giving away $1 million in cryptocurrency to launch Lossdog? Is it going to be a Lossdog coin? Larry.
Well, I mean, Larry, that's all we could find in Scott's couch. Okay, was $1 million in cryptocurrency. We looked everywhere, and that's all the Sheridans had lying around their house. So we took it, right? That's fair.
Fair.
That's fair.
Sure.
That's all we could find. I mean, that's, listen, you got to make a splash, right? You got to do something that's can't give away $1 or $100 or $1,000. I mean, $1 million seemed like, all right, this is a good way to seed our launch and wake people up. It's very real. Trust me. We've already committed the $1 million, and we hope we're oversubscribed. I mean, listen, that's all we can say at this point. Mm-hmm. It's a launch strategy.
Yes.
I mean,
and it will not
a very
be,
good one.
There will be a Lossdog stablecoin, but that's not the giveaway.
No, the giveaway
correct.
is crypto. I mean, you get your choice.
Yeah.
Bitcoin,
Well, that's
ETH.
what it says. Is it going to be a Lossdog coin? There will be, but that's not what we're giving away.
There's 4 coins: Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and Stellar. And if you ask why we picked those Bitcoin and ETH are obviously the 2 major players. Solana, it seems to be like, it's a position that we've been kind of accumulating for some time, so we like that blockchain. And Stellar is the blockchain that we plan to use for our stablecoin, and that's why we've included Stellar, which is XLM.
Yes.
Okay, so BTC, ETH, SOL, and XLM.
Yeah.
And they're
Remember to
on
call us
most
with any
platforms.
questions
Yeah.
at 989 Lost Dog and join the launch list.
And just so you know, those 4 coins are on virtually every platform. So they're on Coinbase, they're on Kraken, they're on Crypto.com, they're on Robinhood, they're on Interactive Brokers, they're on Tasty. They're basically on every platform. So, you'll have to hold them till the end of the year, but before you can actually liquidate it. But we think that's important. And plus, the reason we're doing crypto giveaway is we couldn't give away our own stock, which we wanted to originally, and we also want you to have reasons to come back to the platform, and we want to start to build a digital ecosystem. So what we're doing, Larry, is we're just kind of we're seeding our.
We're seeding, exactly.
Yeah, we're seeding our.
And hopefully creating engagement. We talked
Yeah.
about yesterday how many people in the dog pound have never traded crypto. So guess what?
Right.
Now you get it for
Now's
free.
your
So you
chance.
don't have a reason to say that you've never traded it.
And Larry, $1 million, spending $1 million on crypto to give to people is actually way better than spending $1 million to advertise on the NBA All-Star game.
I missed that one actually.
Among other things.
Among
Right.
other things.
Okay, we get a little more bang for our buck.
That's right.
Yeah.
Call us if you have any questions, but just go in.
Yeah,
Sign up.
Yeah, they'll be held in an omnibus wallet, and everything is
Yes,
being done
in
at
a
zero
Lossdog
hash.
wallet.
Yeah, everything's being done at zero hash. So they're a longtime partner of ours, and we were also one of the early investors. So we feel really confident, and they're a great firm. So
Yeah, they are.
all good.
All good. Okay, our next question is, I have accounts at Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, and Tasty, and they all offer different interest-bearing vehicles. What is the ideal way to earn interest on the free cash in my account? I want to consolidate my account soon for ease of use. Our friend Adam.
Yeah, Adam, it's smart to, on the one hand, it's kind of smart to have accounts at multiple firms. And the reason for that is because sometimes, a platform may go down, and sometimes, technology happens. And also, sometimes there's different offers at different firms. You're kind of in a bunch of the old school firms plus Tasty. I get the point of wanting to consolidate. Like Scott and I will have accounts at multiple firms, but we also do like all our trading in one specific place generally. That said, the ideal way to earn interest on free cash is to use a treasury ETF. There are lots of alternatives to that, like money funds and T-bills and things like that. But the best way to earn is using a treasury ETF. So BIL, SGov, they're commission free, so they're transaction free. They're highly liquid. They're easy to borrow against if you want to. Just like I wrote you in this email, that is the easiest way, and you can use the same products at multiple brokerage firms. And treasury ETFs generally pay, like right now, they're paying, I would say, the equivalent of like a CD. So most CDs are wrapped around 4%, 3.95 to let's say 4. They're within about 5 basis points of each other, and these things are wrapped around the same thing, right around 3.95 to 4%.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, next up, quick
And
question.
don't be shy. Call in. 989 Lossdog. Don't be shy. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. We're running, the launch of our sign up list for the new Lossdog software. We're giving away $1 million. And so we'd love for you to just get the word out there. The referrals you guys have been giving us are great, but get the word out there and 989 Lossdog. Call in with anything. Nothing's off limits. I mean, we found $1 million in Scott's couch. What if we find $1 million in Scott's car?
Maybe.
In the trunk of your car. What do you got in there?
Not $1 million.
You sure?
I think so. I haven't looked recently, but I don't think so.
In nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's a little off topic, but we used to, in our cars, especially as kids growing up and until recently, we'd always keep change everywhere.
Right.
Like we'd have quarters quarters here.
Ashtrays.
Everywhere. Everywhere there's for money for tolls, and there's always for parking meters, for everything. You can't find a quarter today to save your life.
Right.
You can't find a coin. Like, we had quarters everywhere.
I actually had a little compartment in my car on the side that had like the indentations where you can put the little coins.
Right, whatever coin
to
you
keep
want.
them organized.
Keep them organized just so you can have.
And pennies are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we used
gone.
to have like all these coins, and in your car now, go try to find a coin in your car. It's like,
And if you do have coins, go try to take them to a bank. They got rid of all the coin machines, so you can't.
Yeah.
So
what do you do with them?
They give you the
gotta
little
go. I can
paper
tell you,
things, and you have to put them in.
you have to correct, and then
Yes.
they trust you. They just trust you that it's the right amount because they're not going to open them.
Yeah.
But what you do, or what I did, because I did years ago, I had a drawer just every day.
I have a drawer.
Okay, so what you do, here's your trick. Here's your PSA, public service announcement for the day.
Okay.
If you have one, Tom, go to Jewel. There's it's called like Coinstar or something.
Yeah.
And they rip you off. It's like
Right,
7,
they
8,
charge
9,
you.
10. No. It's like 7, 8, 9, 10% is what they take. Unless you want to do it, you could do it for like an Amazon gift card or put it to your Amazon account. And they give you $1 for $1.
Right. Okay.
Well, whatever. I have a drawer that I've been putting coins in for probably at
Or
least
what you could
15
do-
years.
But here we go. This is the next offering. Put it in a giant jar, bring it in, put it on the table on the stage, and let people guess. And then the winner, whoever's closest, gets the jar of coins.
Could
I
do
like
that.
that.
Sure,
When we were kids,
I have one of those jars
my
too.
grandparents used to like put all their change into like a big jar,
Yeah.
and then they'd
Yeah.
give it to the grandkids, and we thought it was like
Amazing.
$1 billion.
Loot.
$1 million.
Yeah.
Right.
We split it up. It was like $1 million. It's probably like $9 a piece. We thought it was $1 million.
I had, when I was a little kid in the 60s, some guy we were jumping rope, and some guy got out of his car and said, "Can I jump?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course." And he started jumping, and coins started falling out of his pockets. He's like, "I got to go." He jumped back in, and I remember it. It probably was like $1, maybe less, but we thought we won. It's like, oh my
Yeah, you
God.
won the
this
lotto.
is-
So cool.
Right? Yeah.
Aw.
There you go.
All right.
All right,
Next
next.
question. Quick question, says this person, about early rolling.
Yeah.
In a perpetual SPX put selling strategy, is there any significant benefit to rolling to the next month with 21 DTE or any days to expiration, basically, versus just holding it till expiration?
Yes.
I'm glad this person did not put their name because, Tom, you would be taking them to school right now.
There is absolutely. If you're
Big
doing a
difference.
perpetual put selling strategy, which is great because it's worked really well in the last 20 years, if you're doing a perpetual put selling SPX strategy and you want to manage those trades early, you want to manage those trades at 21 days or anywhere around there, and the reason for that is you increase your probability of profit, you take a ton of risk off the table, and it is statistically the it's statistically the best way to optimize your return over long periods of time. It's that simple. We did a crazy amount of research on this over the years, and rolling to the next month with, at least 2 weeks, but preferably 3 weeks left to go, is the ideal time in the decay curve where you've already taken in the most amount of credit for the least amount of risk.
Right. The problem becomes if you hold it to expiration, you could be a hero, obviously, but the problem becomes moves can happen too quickly, and you can get crushed on the trade because there's nothing you can do.
And this is a perpetual strategy. So as soon as you roll, you're going to the next one anyway. So you're always short puts.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we like it. Just stick to your 21. Stick to your guns.
Yep.
All right. Okay, ready? I want to start a business that manufactures wood stove pellets. I already own a warehouse.
Who the hell wants that? They want to start a business that manufactures wood stove pellets?
What is that? Is that for smoking?
You mean for smokers?
Yeah, I imagine.
I think for smokers.
Like a Traeger.
Okay. I already own a warehouse that would work well for this. I still owe money on the warehouse, and I'm running a totally different business out of it right now, but could run both in the same space. Should I consider financing from the manufacturer of the equipment, which is Chinese, for around $500,000, or should I look for U.S.-based private investors instead? This is either Andrea or
Andrea.
I think for me, this just comes down to the cost of capital. So whoever's going to give you the better deal, assuming that you're going to proceed with this on around $500,000, and you say, what's the Chinese company willing to finance for versus private investors? So the difference would be Chinese, if you're financing it, you're going to pay debt, you're going to pay them interest on it. But I assume what you're saying, U.S. private investors would be some sort of equity, and then you have to make that decision. If it's debt for debt, it's easy. It's just we're charging you X, and we're charging you X times 2 or whatever, and you go with the less expensive. But the difference would be on the other one, if you're taking equity, then you just have to decide, do you want to give up a piece of the business?
Yeah, I mean, that's, Scott covered it. It doesn't matter who you borrow from, whether you borrow from the Chinese.
Money rate for money rate.
Yeah, money is money. So it doesn't matter if it's Chinese or, as long as it's not like Rocco in the corner and whatever. But if it's Chinese people lending you, the Chinese firm lending you the money, or U.S. investors lending you the money, it's just an interest rate decision. But if it's an equity versus, if it's the Chinese are willing to lend it to you and the U.S. investors want a piece of the equity, then you have to make a business decision.
Correct.
We can't help you with the idea of whether it's a good business or not. Wood stove pellets. I don't know anything
What do you use in your smoker?
I use wood chips, but I don't have a smoker that uses wood pellets.
What's the difference between pellets and chips?
Well, certain smokers like Traegers use pellets, but
are they little? Are they just smaller?
And there's a lot of off-brand names that use pellets, but I have a green egg, and I have a traditional smoker, and they both use wood chips.
And where does one buy
working.
chips?
Oh, you could buy chips anywhere. You could probably buy them at Costco, but you could for sure buy them at any Home Depot. Yeah.
Menards.
Home Depot,
There you go.
Menards, Lowe's.
Inquiring minds. Here's the better question. When's the last time you used your smoker?
Which
No,
one?
I think one of them is actually broken.
My $1,000 smoker or my $15,000 smoker?
Either one.
I have two smokers.
Didn't you break one because you didn't know how to use it?
No, they both work.
Oh.
I don't know.
Last time? Have you used it in the last 6 months?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I also have an indoor smoker.
To be fair, the last 6 months have been winter.
An indoor smoker, that's got to work well. When was the last time you used that one?
I only used it once and it caught on fire, so I haven't used it since.
Exactly. That's the one I was thinking
Oh,
of.
and my indoor smoker uses pellets.
All right.
There you go. So then there is a use for pellets.
I forgot about that. My indoor smoker uses pellets, but I shut it down.
So, Andrea, so you have a customer in town.
There you go.
There you go.
First customer. All right.
Okay, remember to call us, 989-LOST-DOG. All right, I'm not 100% clear on this, but will Lossdog stablecoin help international customers avoid the bandit bank charges?
For sure.
Says our friend JP.
Yes. And it's not just the bank charge, JP. It's the time to fund. So there's two things. One, the international wire fees are just insanely high because you have an intermediary bank along with your bank that's charging you. But it's not just that. It's typically 2-3 days for the money to hit. Whereas if you're going to use, our stablecoin or a stablecoin, it should be basically instantaneous. So it's a multiple pronged win situation.
We love to give the answer
huge for international.
that there's a written answer, JP. It's called cross-border payments, and everybody loves to say that's what they use stablecoin for. Fortunately, in our world, it won't be the number one priority for a stablecoin, but it's definitely going to help. And if you're an international customer, let's be clear about something. Our crypto giveaway, we unfortunately, for regulatory reasons, we can't give the crypto to international customers, but we can give you the first year subscription for free as well. So in April, you're going to get an email back from us if you're an international customer, and you're going to get instructions, and we'll get you up and running on day one.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And our next question is, what are your thoughts about trading crypto options? There seems to be much more volatility there.
Thoughts about trading crypto options? Well, let's be clear about crypto options to start with. In the cash world, in the U.S., there's no such thing as crypto options yet. There are a bunch of different sites around the world where you can trade crypto options as an institutional investor. There are also a few sites where you can trade crypto options even on tokenized products. But again, those don't exist in the US yet. So in the US, if you want to trade crypto options, the CME products, the futures products, the listed ones aren't really liquid. There's no liquid option market yet. But you can trade futures options on crypto ETFs. So like IBIT, you can trade it on ETHA. You can trade it on, GT, oh my God, I can't think of this right now. Whatever, there's like two big crypto Bitcoin ETFs, and there's one ETH ETF, and the options are pretty liquid. And you can also trade options on the miners, like Riot and Mara, and you can also trade options on Coinbase.
It's IBIT, FBTC, GBTC, ETHA, and BITO.
Yeah, BITO is the other one I was thinking of. And you could and don't forget, there's also stocks that mirror crypto pretty good, which would be like MicroStrategies and Coinbase. So there's a handful of places you can trade options. Just remember that the volatility in crypto at its peak was about 4 times the S&P. Now it's about 2.5 times the S&P. So it's come down a lot. But again, my thoughts on trading crypto options on listed ETFs would be the same as trading listed options on the SPY or on NVIDIA or on any stock. Same exact thing. No difference in my head. Same strategies, same approach. Just remember, there's a lot of upside skew, but other than that, just like any other commodity.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, go for it. Why not? Just make sure they're liquid. Just don't trade the illiquid stuff.
All right, let's take a call. Steve from Miami. Hi, Steve.
We woke Steve up. Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys. From sunny Miami.
There you go.
I think you just recently, like a few minutes ago, but I missed it because I was having some phone issues about stablecoin. But my question was, I know you've talked about stablecoin, but what I don't understand is how stablecoin will be, let's say, more advantageous. So if I had money on the side, it could either be a money market, it could be SGov. Sometimes I spy TLT and I sell calls against it.
Yeah.
I don't understand, what is stablecoin providing that is better than those?
Just 24-hour access and an entry into a digital world, but that's it. The return will be marginally better. So like the interest rate on a money fund versus the rewards in stablecoin. The rewards in stablecoin will be a few ticks more, but it's insignificant. The real difference will be an introduction into a into a stable digital currency with no principal risk, and it will be it'll just be the availability of that for transactional purposes 24/7. So that's it. I mean, for starters initially, they're going to look very much the same as a money fund with a credit card. Our stablecoin will have a Visa card attached to it. So it'll be a Visa debit card. So it will look like any other debit card. It won't be, you won't even be able to tell the difference. But over time, we're going to start to introduce lots of little digital ecosystem, let's call them, as Scott called yesterday, on-ramps. And they're going to introduce you to things like maybe tokenized derivatives trading, maybe tokenized underlyings, maybe different aspects of digital swaps. So it's an introduction into a world that most Americans at this point, don't really have access to. Like as far as funding and stuff with stablecoin, it's really more for international customers. Americans don't really use stablecoin transactionally yet, and they don't really use it for funding yet, most Americans. But the rest of the world, like Scott just mentioned, the rip-off fees that the big banks charge for moving money around and all these other things, like most Americans don't do business in China or Japan or Europe, but a lot of Europeans and Asians do business in America. So for them, there's huge savings, or fund like a brokerage account here. But who knows what happens in the future? And we might all start opening up accounts in Singapore. I don't know.
Right. Okay. So what you're saying is, as an American, that it's as risk-free or whatever as a money market. It's just that I could use it as with a money market. I have to, let's say, it has to send it to my bank, then I have to pay the bill with it. And you're saying that with a stable coin, I could just be more direct. It's like anytime, and here's my debit card. So it's like having money at the bank instead of getting 0%, I'm getting 4%.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Okay.
And again, it's in its infancy now. We think within probably 3, 5, or 10 years, everybody's going to be using, everybody's going to be digitizing their currency. So like it will be not that much different than your account at JP Morgan or anything else. But we're trying to be early because we want to give people lots of different on-ramps to lots of different potential investments. That's all it is.
Okay. Now that makes sense. That's clear to me. Now, how in a sense would that be different from like how people are thinking they're going to use Bitcoin? Like Bitcoin is supposed to be a currency.
Well,
and
there's a big difference.
It changes all over the place. I know there's a difference because it moves around.
Bitcoin has principal risk. So think of stablecoin. Think of a stablecoin and a cryptocurrency as completely inverse digital currency. So stablecoin has no risk to principal. Bitcoin has risk to principal. It also has upside. So they're completely different instruments.
I understand that as an investment. What I don't understand is how people think they're going to use it as currency.
No, nobody thinks that anymore. That's what they thought 20 years ago. No more.
I think people thought that we would be using Bitcoin or Ethereum as currency, and I think that's gone.
Dead. That's gone.
That's dead. Yeah. People thought they're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. It's going to replace the dollar. But then people realize, Tom's point, that there's risk to doing this. So how can you have a currency that can move 5-10% in a day? It just doesn't. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
But to Tom's point, I think the problem for most people is they put, they're going to say crypto, meaning Bitcoin, Ethereum, et cetera, is the same thing as stablecoin, and they're very, very different.
No, they're actually inverse. They're literally inverse to each other.
But the use case here, I think, and I've always questioned when people were saying this years ago, people will have a Bitcoin wallet, they'll just go tap it and they'll charge and they'll buy a sandwich at a store, whatever. I'm like, that's never going to happen. With stablecoin, it's 100% going to happen. And I think we're going to see that really take off in the next 6, 12, 18 months.
So how is Bitcoin different than tulips? I mean, besides the technology and all that stuff, which I agree with you.
Well, you can't say besides the technology. That's why.
But the difference is, I'm agreeing with you. There is an essence of the tulip.
But Bitcoin is nothing then. I mean, except the belief, like I said, like the tulips, the belief that there's value there.
You're investing in it. You said it.
Money.
You said it, Steve. You're investing in the technology. If you don't believe in the technology, or you don't believe in the future of that technology, then don't buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, but you can have the
But then how
technology.
is the technology going to be monetized? How is that technology going to be? If I'm investing, if I put money into Bitcoin and I'm investing into technology,
Yeah.
how is that technology going to be monetized for, let's say, like a company would? You know, if they come up with a product, or
Just
software or
based
something.
on limited supply, and lots of demand and limited supply. That's it.
Steve, I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you. I
Okay.
think that I think that the demand is being created artificially because of the limited supply, and people, want to believe that Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I have not been an adopter of that philosophy ever. So we'll see. We'll see where the dust settles. Clearly, I think Bitcoin has I think part of the allure is that it was really the first. And this is what people want. So they were first to market. And again, it's limited in supply. So people love that. They're like, well, if it's limited in supply, that means there has to be value there. We'll see. Let's see where it is in the next few years.
Let's see where blockchain technology goes in the next 10 years. It could be the basis.
Technology is going to be unbelievable.
It could be the basis for all quantum technology. We don't have any idea yet. I'd be careful about selling it short. I'm not one of those.
I wouldn't get short.
Hey, Steve, we got to run, man. Take care.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
There you
All
go.
right.
Got to keep it moving.
I like this one. I am 88 years old, retired, and wonder why I should
Why are
subscribe.
you retired?
Hold
Who the
on.
hell retires at 88? If you're still going strong at 88, why are you retired?
Okay, I wonder why I should subscribe to Lossdog since I am quite vague of what value it would be to me. Could you please help me out? Says our friend Peter.
Well, Peter, you're watching the show right now, and first of all, maybe we got to get your retired ass back to work. We got to get you. You can't retire. All the plants will die.
He doesn't sound like he's retired if he's all in Lossdog.
That's right. You're all in a Lossdog. You can't. Here's what Lossdog will do. Yes, we're not going to be optimizing your resume. That's for sure.
Right.
But there's lots of other fun stuff on there. We're building a digital ecosystem. This might be your first venture into, Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency. There's technology on there that lets you optimize your portfolio and have some fun with that. There's also there's lots of content that we're creating at Lossdog, and there's lots of ways to interact. Like we're building a whole community, a network, and I think, listen, we're going to create lots of different challenges for lots of different people. Whether you're 88 or 28 or 18, it doesn't matter to us. We're creating challenges that keep your mind and your thought process simulated. I think that's why you should subscribe to
Could he,
Lossdog.
in a year, potentially, and I don't remember the answer to this question, gift the crypto to his grandkid, for example?
Sure, what do we care what he does with it? No, you can do anything you want. But
There you go.
what's also interesting is after watching a lot of Lossdog, watching One Lucky Dog and participating in Lossdog, you're going to know more about certain things than some of your grandkids or great grandkids are going to know, and that's awesome.
Yeah, you're keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Peter. I hope that answers your question. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to email me. I emailed you, so I'll check in with you today too. All right. I have multiple strangles and we are at 21 DTE. It's roll time again. Does it make a difference, or is there an advantage to how you pair the strangles various strikes when you roll?
I had to, I answered this person.
This is multiple strikes,
Yes.
not multiple contracts.
Yes. So
Okay.
I will tell you how I do this, and Scott may do it differently, but I'll tell you how I do this. This is kind of a pretty advanced question, but what I do is, let's just say I have an underlying where I have, 4, 6, 10 different options that I'm short at different strikes. What I tend to do is, or what I try to make myself do, is I pair up the options based on price. So, for example, I'm not going to roll a $10 call and a $1 put. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's say, a $5 call and a $5 put and roll those together. Because, sorry, we got a tech problem. Hey guys,
We're
Yeah,
having
we're
an
having-
issue with
you
the
can
phones,
go.
but
a few phone issues. So, but let's understand kind of what I'm trying to say. Is I try to find options because I'm rolling everything anyway. So like if I have a $10 call and a $1 put, I'll try to find either a $1 call and a $1 put to match those up, or a $10 call and a $10 put to match those up, or a 5 and 5, because I want to take as little roll risk when I'm actually making the roll trade until I make the next trade as possible. So I just try to line everything up based on price. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And almost everybody I know that has multiple positions on that rolls tends to roll that way. You just look for the options that line up in price. It doesn't have to be an exact science, and just roll those together.
And I would just add to that, yes, I agree with that, but it also, I'm assuming that you have multiple strikes on because the position moved and then you kept adding, but the underlying had moved. So you also have to take into consideration what you're rolling to, because as Tom said, you don't want to necessarily roll a $1 put and a $10 call to the same strikes. So you might bring those in, bring them down so that you're evening them out again.
No, you
So
adjust. You always adjust, Scott, the strikes,
Right.
where you're
I
rolling
understand.
to.
So you're adjusting the strikes and you want to keep them because you might close out. You might have a call that's deep in the money or close to the money and you say, I don't want that anymore. And you're moving it higher. So it's just, you have to look at what the underlying is as well, because it's not a static situation.
Yep. Just look to offset by price and you'll figure it out. It's super simple. The fact that you have multiple positions on, you already know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
okay, so real quickly before we go to the calls, the dog pound loves the swag,
What
loves
swag?
the hoodie.
Yeah. Mine. Thank you.
Yes.
Look at that.
So I just want a quick reminder,
on.
it's swag.lossdog.com, and those are very popular. So
you don't get
should
extra
one.
money if we sell stuff in there, do you?
Oh, for sure.
I don't even get a hoodie myself. We
'Cause
make
she's-
like
and I will
cents
say,
on
She's
cents on each hoodie.
working hard to sell stuff in the store.
We make like 32 cents on that hoodie.
And I will say I have some nice hats too. I just don't wear them on air, but the hats are really nice as well. As a variety
Maybe
of
you should bring one on air next
them. And
week.
of course,
And of course the mugs.
matching.
They're
Look at
super
that.
fun.
How you do that?
I love it.
And I just want to say
Oh, I
that
love it.
I have a
Yeah, he's got iced
mason
tea.
jar in iced tea, and we sell these mason jars
Oh, well, stop it.
for $3.
No.
If you come to the coffee
Not
shop.
true.
Yeah, but if Tom will autograph them for an extra $2.
There you go.
Oh, well, that's different. I'll put that on the store. Okay.
we go.
Phone lines are working. Let's take Mike from Pennsylvania. Hi, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
I want to do a true or not before we get started. True
Sure.
or not, there's such a thing as kosher water.
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I'm
Such a thing as
going-
kosher water.
Because it's so crazy. I'm saying no. because
I'm
I
saying
can't-
no.
I'm saying no.
Would it be
Yeah,
blessed by a rabbi?
Yeah, the answer is yes. And basically, any water would be considered kosher unless you put it under a microscope and there's like, some kind of claws or something on whatever you see.
I think we're getting a little too granular. If we're worrying about kosher water, we're getting a little too granular.
Well, I did see the sign one time. There was like a symbol on my water. I was like, "What is this?" But
The kosher's kosher.
so
That's
so
somebody
you're-
trying to
you're-
make that's somebody trying to make a buck.
But my research says, any water is considered kosher, basically.
I think they should sell kosher water at the Cubs games for an extra $2. Like, $12 a bottle, but for $14 a bottle, you can get kosher water.
Well, maybe the manufacturing plant that's putting the water in the container also puts other stuff that's kosher in other containers, so they just include that little logo.
All right,
right?
Mike, look what you
Who
started
knows,
here.
but yes.
Look what you did.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Now, this is Sol's mission now. When she goes to the grocery store, she's going to be
I'm gonna
looking
look it up.
to
Yes.
see if it has a kosher. And then the question is it kosher for Passover, which we're coming up to? That's even more specific.
I just want to say that
really?
everything we do at Lossdog
Is kosher.
is kosher.
Yes.
And kosher for Passover.
There we go.
Okay.
Can women be
so-
rabbis?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We take all
So-
comers.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, sure.
Great.
Anybody can be a rabbi,
Yeah, Tom's basically a rabbi.
except if you're a goy.
No, he isn't.
yeah,
Well, I'd
No
have to
voice.
convert.
Yeah, you'd have to convert. You're a goy.
Thank you. I know that. All right. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so you're I call it the crossfire, that old CNN show. You guys had that crossfire discussion the other week
Sure.
about the government involvement. I can't remember. I know Scott said the government shouldn't be involved, but I couldn't remember your position, Tom. But this reminded me of
I'm very mixed. Yeah, go ahead.
the payroll protection program in COVID. I recall you said you didn't take that money, and the question is, why not? I mean, you probably could have got $3 million, 2 bites at the apple. I don't understand why you just wouldn't take the money.
We easily could have. And
I missed this. Take the money for what?
the payouts during COVID that everybody stole.
I
mean, it was just complete. It was almost. I mean, it was criminal. And
well, wait a minute. It depends on what the payout that you're talking about. If you're talking about the ERC, which was Employee Retention Credit, we wouldn't have qualified because.
not talking about that.
What are you talking about?
You got about 60. You got about 60 days worth of payroll because the government said, "Hey, don't lay these people off. We'll pay you to keep them employed."
Right, but our revenue. You had to show your revenue was hurt by COVID, and we weren't, so we wouldn't have qualified. But we never looked for it anyway.
We even had companies that we were building at the time that were we were incubating different startups at the time, and we didn't even let them do it. We just thought, and I'll tell you what our thinking was at the time. We thought that this was going to come back and just be a black eye in the future. Like, people were going to look at us and say, what the hell are you guys doing? This money should have been earmarked for people that really needed it and all this kind of stuff. And we're like, listen, it didn't change. It wasn't going to change our lives. And we didn't, we decided that the PR side to it just wouldn't look good. I mean, in hindsight, we probably should have taken the money especially for some of our startups, but we didn't.
Right. Okay. All right, great. Good talking to you. I'll let you get to the next
All right,
people.
thanks, Mike.
All right, next up. What new micro futures are going to be available this year, says our friend Dana.
Dana, what new micro futures are going to be available?
Also, Dana could be female or male.
Dana could be a male?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
Dana
that.
White.
Oh, Dana White.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dana White is female.
Dana White.
Carvey.
Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey's a
Dana
male.
Carvey is a male.
Dana White
White-
used
Dana
to be a
White's a
female,
male, but-
and now he's a male.
Dana White used to be a female? I don't think
think
so.
so.
All right, let's go. So the answer is CME is launching Micro Cardano, ADA Micro Chainlink, Link, and Micro Stellar XLM futures. That was in February to expand the crypto suite. They're also launching 100-ounce silver futures in
That's out. That's out already.
Yeah, and then they're also going to be launching a Micro Ultra T-bond future and new single stock futures coming summer of 2026.
Yeah, and I think the CBO's launching a couple of micro event-based contracts, but all the big kids are out already. Like, there's nothing that's gonna, at this point on the micro future side, I don't think there's anything that's gonna, like a micro Cardano future or Stellar future is not gonna shake anybody up. I doubt it's even gonna trade. I think that, the one thing's for sure, that if they thought there was any opportunity to grow the business, the futures business, they would launch a micro future tomorrow.
Yep.
Like, they're not going to hesitate at all.
Right.
I don't know that there's anything great that's in the works right now, but don't be surprised. They'll be coming. Whatever they think that will be tradable, or
I'll say two things. One against CME and one for the CME. The against, they took the idea from the small exchange, and then they're like, we got to go do this. But the positive side is that the CME over the last 5-10 years has really, I think, become a believer in retail, which they were not for a long time. So it's nice to see that they're listening to retail and coming up with more friendly products for the retail trader.
Scott and I almost got into a fight one night at the United Center at a Blackhawks game with the CEO. Still,
It's one of the great
he's
stories.
still the CEO of the CME. So
arguably one of the great stories of all time, because we were getting the dessert cart was there, and Tom got into it with him about retail, and you could see he basically said F you to retail. I said, okay, good luck. I turned away, took my dessert, went back to the seat, and Tom stood there for a little while. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so we were pretty adamant about changing these guys, changing the way they looked
But they
at
got
retail.
there about 25 years later.
They
but
got there. 10 years, 15 years later, they got there.
Yeah, they got there.
They gave us
So-
zero credit for that, by the way. But
Yeah.
it's old in Chicago.
okay.
In Chicago, there's a lot of crazy tales about that argument because it's spread around. It's spread
Really?
around the circles for years. You know.
So everybody knows.
We were there.
Oh,
You don't
they
need
know.
him to give you the credit.
Oh, no,
Everyone
they
knows.
know.
We can report the truth. We were there.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, we'll take Charlie from New Jersey. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello.
Hey, Charlie, what's
Just
up?
calling in. I'm calling in about Tom's hat. What happened to Tom's hat?
You know,
He got
I
sick of
decided
it.
I got sick of it. I didn't want to. It was time to change my. I wore the hat during the Thinkorswim years and the Tasty
God,
years,
yes.
and I came into work one day. Sol said, "Get rid of that hat," so I got
No, I
rid of it.
didn't. No, I didn't. It's not my fault. Don't come after me, people.
I just was tired of it.
He got tired of it.
Tom
I was
is
like,
Well, I
hey,
think you should-
look at you.
What?
You should put it up
got
for
him.
auction.
Oh.
Oh no.
Ooh.
No.
Or send it to Smith. Yeah, or send it to
You
the
know, I have one at home. Maybe I can put it on eBay
There you go.
to buy myself a Lossdog hoodie with
There
the
you go.
proceeds.
All
There
right,
you go.
that's the
All right.
second time you made a comment about the hoodie. You make one more comment, I'm buying a hoodie and sending it to you.
Okay.
No, I don't wear hoodies.
No, he.
Not
Yeah.
you. I don't care about you.
Oh,
So
Sol
you can
doesn't
buy
wear
your own- You
hoodies.
can buy your own hoodies.
You don't
Sol's
wear
been
hoodies, do you?
I love hoodies.
Oh, I've never seen you in a
Sol's been
hoodie.
crying about not
Oh,
having a hoodie.
please. Every
So let's-
Friday you see me wear a hoodie, and he's like, oh my God, how do you come to work wearing what you wear?
I love hoodies.
Casual Fridays. Sorry.
I like 3/4 zip, full zip hoodies.
All right. Charlie, did you have another question?
No, but I just did want to voice my appreciation for what you guys are doing. I really
Oh,
enjoy your
thank
show.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Thanks
you very
so much.
Charlie.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being part of
There
the
you
dog
go.
pound.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Did we lose Cesare?
Cesare. Sol just likes saying Cesare.
Yeah, I do. Because
Cesare, you got to call back in
that
again.
Airbnb that I stayed in Rome was the street name was Cesare, so I love it. Brings me good
Well,
memories.
if you weren't here, he'd be called Caesar. So
Yes, he would.
anyway,
Um,
he can call back. We can.
You can
Yeah,
call
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the next question.
okay, so in my position with very limited capital, how would you approach the market? Are there any strategies or trades you'd recommend? I was considering iron condors, but they may be too capital intensive for my current budget. Assuming this is a small budget, obviously, is what
Yeah,
he's
this
saying.
is a young trader who actually I met before at some live events, and he was starting out when he was like probably in grade school. Dad gave him some money, and then he's made some money, and he got caught a little with some crypto. He told me. It's so funny. Like I meet these young traders when they're like, 10, 12 years old. Like the crazy. Scott and I still have a relationship with Alex, the kid trader, who
Right.
we met when he was
10?
10 or
Was he 10?
11 or 12.
Oh, my goodness.
And now we're participating in his prop firm. Like we're investors in his prop firm. So,
Love it.
That's crazy.
It's
I guess we're getting older.
it is
Right?
absolutely crazy. When this kid came on the show when he was 12 years old, and I'm like, this is a smart kid, but I said that I'm like, this kid has. We would all sit around and laugh. We'd be like, this kid. He's going to get beat up a lot when he gets older. All he wanted to do was be a hedge fund manager. No
Ay,
12-year-old
ay, ay.
wants to be a hedge fund manager.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, this kid's gonna have a hard life, and now they're killing it. He's living the dream, and he's crazy smart and so.
Okay, so iron condors?
But I love talking to these kids when they're really young, and getting them involved in trading and markets and stuff like that. With limited capital, what I told him was maybe forget the iron condors because that's both sides, and just focus on maybe some directional vertical spreads, like some credit spreads or some debit spreads. Just do something that is more directional, but just one side of the market, like a credit.
Why? I'm just curious why you would say that.
Because
there's no additional margin if you sell the other side.
I understand, but the
And
difference.
it's less risky.
I
So-
understand, but it's also slower moving, and it's harder to squeeze out some money. And I
I don't know
thought,
if he told you how much was in the account, but there can't be a lot in there if.
no, there's
an
not a
iron-
lot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: a lot of times, especially for young people, they get the concept of delta neutrality. It's interesting to a 70-year-old. It's not interesting to a 17-year-old. And they want some risk, and they want some market direction. They want things that move. So I'm like, maybe some vertical spreads, either debit or credit, and just do the one side and give yourself a little make a directional bet. This kid loves making directional bets. Make a directional bet and make sure it's liquid and take that approach.
Can I ask who came up with the name iron condors? Because condor is the national bird of Ecuador.
It was some Ecuadorian kid. No. Condor. Have you ever seen a condor?
Yes,
Yeah. They're huge.
they're gorgeous.
Huge.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're huge. I only saw a condor in a zoo. I've never seen.
Where? What zoo?
I saw one in a zoo.
Who would have a condor in a zoo?
Somebody had a condor in a zoo. I don't remember where, but I saw
Yeah,
a condor
I'm selling that.
with the
I'm
wings
selling
like up or down, however the wings go. And
Up or down. They go in, out. What do you, up or down?
I mean, they're
up
either
or
I can't remember if the
down.
wings
I
are like
mean,
this
when
or
they
like this.
Fly maybe is
Like
like
this?
this.
I'm selling. I'm
Anywho.
selling that you saw a condor.
I did
in
see a
zoo.
condor.
When, first of all, I can't even believe you'd been to a zoo ever.
I went to a zoo.
It was you and TP that came up with this because it wasn't a thing.
No, it was we popularized it, but we didn't come up with it.
Okay, we're gonna look into it.
No, the iron condor has been around for a long time in the trading world. Probably
Somebody
back,
must have coined it.
yeah, somebody coined it in like the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
But nobody ever used it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna find who coined it.
What we did was we fought with FINRA,
Yeah.
and we won because on a couple things, and that's what universal spread margining now
Right.
exists because of what we did, advocated for.
Yeah.
When we first started, they charged margin on both sides.
Right. The reason nobody ever used an iron condor was
charged
because
margin on both
they charged
sides.
margin on both sides. It made no sense.
Correct.
Okay, let's
It
Scott
didn't make any
finish.
sense.
Yeah.
And then when we went and fought for this, they're like, oh, if you're in the same cycle, I guess that makes sense. You can't be at two places at one time.
Right.
And they agreed. And that was really the beginning of the change of universal spread margining for options, which we were responsible for, which is odd.
Beautiful.
As soon as you only had to put up margin for one side, then iron condors
Then it
became
became
popular.
popular.
But
Correct.
the name existed, I think, going back into the 80s, but we popularized it because we built the first platform that supported it as a single click.
Beautiful.
In
It's the
fact-
same thing, yeah.
I'll tell you a little story to everybody. We offered iron condors as a single click before the exchanges did. So there was no way to actually fill it with one click. We just showed it on the front end as one click, but on the back end, we were scrambling.
Two verticals.
Yeah, there were two verticals, and we had to make it look good, and it wasn't nearly as anything like it is today.
It's
But
seamless.
yeah.
Okay, Cesare is back. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We had phone issues this morning.
Yes.
So, Tommaso, buongiorno, and
buongiorno.
Buongiorno. So, when I try to share your content to other people, I got to share like the protagonists of, of who you guys are. Scott.
Sure.
Scott, you're like the CEO. You're steadfast, and you're
That's
always
right.
Be careful about this, be careful about that. I got your back, kind of guy, right?
That's exactly right.
And and
No, he's
and
not.
Tommaso,
Good.
yeah, she is. And Tom, you're like Tommaso. You're like an octopus. Very smart, like an alien smart. And you got your tentacles everywhere. You can make like 8 different trades or whatnot, And then of course Saul, you're like, I'm gonna share 3 Italian words with you to describe Saul. Simpatica,
Take it.
Simpatica. Solare. Of course, you're like the sun.
I'll take it.
And one more that I forgot now.
Okay.
Sportiva. Sei molto sportiva. Very sporty.
Sure.
Like, like you dress, So the call today is about, I was trying to talk a little bit about oil. I was like, my formative years were in two different countries in the 70s, right? So in Italy, like during the oil embargo, it was crazy. Like traffic closed on Sundays, like the whole city shut down. There was no oil. And then I come into this country and it's like oil everywhere. Well, in 77, gas was 65 cents and all the cars going around were these giant cars, like you could fit a whole Italian house in them. And so, of course, I wanted myself the American dream. I wanted a muscle car, and that's why I'm calling you. Like, what was your favorite muscle car growing up, if you even had one? And then, Tom, how do you play the oil market? Like, what's your favorite oil trading strategies?
Well, my favorite oil trading underlying is CL because because the options on CL are very liquid, and it's the ETFs on oil are very, very average, very mediocre across the board. There's none of them really stand out to me. So easily, when it comes to crude oil, my preference is to trade CL, and I'm pretty much a premium seller in there. When I think it's cheap, I'll sell naked puts. When I think it's expensive, I'll sell skewed strangles. I tend not to sell naked calls in there, but I tend to sell a lot of, when volatility's high, I sell a lot of oil premium because there's a lot of good call skew to sell. When volatility's low, I stay out of there or just sell naked puts. That tends to be what I do. As far as muscle cars go, listen, I was a Jew and I wasn't Italian, so,
Did you not care about cars?
I cared about cars like whatever I could afford to buy, but I couldn't care less about muscle cars.
Yeah, I wasn't really either, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with an old Mustang.
I never had a Mustang. I never had a Mustang.
I didn't either. I'm saying if I had to pick one, I would go. My first car was a Honda Accord hatchback, 5-speed.
My first car was
That's
a Ford, was a giant Ford. It was like a Ford 600 or something. It was like one of the ugliest cars ever made, but I wasn't a muscle car.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you
my
have a muscle car?
I love cars. I love cars since I was little. I
Yeah.
had the little Matchbox cars or whatever they're called. In Ecuador, there was a lot of like the big giant from the 70s and 80s, the Blazer. It was huge.
The Chevy Blazer?
The Chevy Blazer, yes.
I never had one of those.
And I
muscle
remember
car,
thinking, that looks like a big car. Like it was big and powerful. I love that car.
Yeah, but that's not a muscle car.
I never had it, but whatever.
No, a muscle car would be like, I don't
Well,
know.
I'm a girl,
Mustang,
so
a
I wasn't
Camaro.
thinking of a
Camaro.
muscle car.
And IROC Z,
That's a Camaro.
Camaro. Yeah, any of those.
All my Italian friends had Camaros.
Yeah?
That they did. Sure, yeah.
Everybody.
That made me think of you, so every Camaro SS. That's why you're
Yeah.
like
Oh.
Sportiva,
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Simpatica. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Cesare.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Call us again
Ciao.
soon. Bye.
Ciao for now.
Okay, ciao,
Ciao for now. Okay, our last one. What strategy or strategies do you use when trading zero-day options strategies? I know I am late to the party, but I want to give it a go.
What
Never
party?
late.
You're going to
Never
say,
late
what
to
are
the
you,
party.
new?
What? You're never late to the party. The party.
No.
Never late to the party.
The party is just starting.
The party's just started. Yeah, it's only 2026. You're not late to the party. In 25 years, you might be late to the party.
Mm-hmm.
That zero DT business is still exploding in SPX and stuff like that.
Amazing.
So,
For me, I'll say
Go ahead.
Trade. The great thing about zero DTE is you've got no time. It's that day. So from my perspective, you make a decision. Do you want to sell some premium or do you want to buy some premium? And that's the great thing about it. I rarely buy. Typically I'm going to be a seller. So, if I'm trading 0 DTE, which I will, and it's a morning where I think the market's going to either be sitting still or obviously moving a direction, I'll sell some calls or sell some puts. Stay very, very, very small, very small. So whatever you think small is, obviously you can't go less than 1, but be careful because again, things move and you don't have time to respond. So for example, this morning, if you would have done something, in the SPX, you could either been a hero or you got killed depending on which way you're going. S&P sold off, like they've had a 100-point range today. So that's a giant move. So just be careful. It's fun. If you have a directional, bet you want to make, if you want to say, look, if you have a conviction and say, look, I really feel strongly the market's going to do something today, take a shot on it, but just stay very, very small.
Okay, I don't like Scott's answer because we spent at least 100. I feel like we spent 1,000 hours studying this topic, and it is very clear to me the best 0 DT option strategy for me is you sell the expected move for the day, whatever that is. Each day the expected move is different. Some days it's 20 handles, some days it's 30 handles. I don't know what it was this morning because I didn't look, but it's probably around, I'm guessing between 20.
Right now it's 30.
Right now it's 30. Okay. So you take the expected move for the day, which today is 30 handles. It was probably 35 because they had NVIDIA earnings last night. That's why it was so high. You go to, and it didn't work today already, but unless you're putting the position on now, but you go to the expected move for the day. I like to sell an expected move strangle, and then I like to go out and either go $20 past that to buy the wings, or you go out to either the next month, anywhere you want to define your risk, whether it's same day out a certain number of strikes, whether it's a month out in time at the month out expected move. It doesn't matter where it is as long as you're consistent, but I like to sell the expected move strangle and then buy something outside of that. And then that gives you defined risk. It gives you a reasonable, it gives you a lot of logic into the trade. Because you're basically betting that we're going to say inside the expected move for that day. It gives you lots of different adjustment options, and usually the back options that you buy don't move that much, especially if you buy them cheap enough. So my preference is you kind of sell the guts, you buy the wings, and you can buy the wings same day, you can buy the wings a week later, you can buy the wings a month later. It doesn't make any difference because it defines your risk, but at least you have some logic behind what you're doing, and that's my favorite 0 DT strategy. Now again, today it didn't work because when we opened down, let's say 20 handles, but we were at one point we're down 80, so it didn't work.
No, S&P's launched on the open. They're launched.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, but whatever you did it this morning, it wouldn't have worked. But
work.
generally, that's my favorite approach. When I do it, it's just you sell the expected move strangle and you buy some wings. You buy them wherever you feel comfortable buying them, and you hope it works. And you get out of that trade within. My target is about 20%. So 20% of whatever the net credit I collected. If you try to go for 50% or 70% or 80%. It's not going to be successful. If you try to go for 10, 15, or 20%, you're going to be successful almost 90% of the time.
Okay, let's go to market talk.
Well, as we were just saying, NVIDIA had earnings last night. It was up on the number, and then it kept selling off, and now NVIDIA's down $9. So the question is the bloom off the rose for that. We will see. It had a nice rally over the last, it was one from low on 7.
Yeah, they scared the children. Everybody
bid on that one.
Yeah, I sold some out of the money puts in NVIDIA at the 75 level, expiring tomorrow. And I did a 1-for-2 call ratio spread where I bought the 205s, sold the 210s. And lucky thing on the opening today, NVIDIA was probably down $2, and the puts, I bought them back for 10 cents, and the call spread got to take about 15 cents out of it, the ratio spread. So it worked out. I mean, no big deal. Small winner.
Yeah, but the question is, again, everybody's looking to NVIDIA.
Yeah, everybody's looking to NVIDIA.
Yeah,
So today's not a
Yeah.
good one. Micron's down $21 today. That's going to hurt me a little bit. But yeah, it's a bad day for the. I mean, I don't know how many more networks we can go on. I don't know how many more people we can have asked this question. But like, I think I was asked this question on 5 different interviews this week. What do you think about, NVIDIA? And I'm like, my answer was, I think these stocks are fully priced. I think all the risk is the downside. And I don't think it's crashing, but I think all the risk is the downside. And all the risk was the downside. I mean, I don't know how else, I don't know how many times we have to say it before somebody actually says, hey, those guys might know what they're talking about.
Right. So SPOO's around 53. They've bounced a little bit. Gold's down 27. Nasdaq's down 368.
Gold just
Silver's
bounced
down-
a lot. It was just down about 50 a minute ago.
And silver's down 5. It's now down 380.
Yeah.
The VIX future is up 70 cents. VIX cash is up $1.43. As you can imagine, the tech stocks are getting hit following NVIDIA. Apple down 3, AMD down almost 8, Amazon down 230, Google down 8, as you said, Micron down 20, NVIDIA is down 850 right now. So that's the day.
Yeah, there's some stocks like Microsoft's up today. There's a few stocks that are up. Netflix is up again.
$1.40 was up, I think, 10 earlier.
Yeah, Netflix is up $1. That's had a great rally the last couple of days. There's a handful of stocks that are higher. It's kind of a mixed day, but SPOO's down 53. That's a pretty good size move. If you remember on the show yesterday, one of the questions was, "What are you guys going to do for NVIDIA earnings?" I said, "Well, we're going to sell the earnings." I don't know if you did last night. All I did was sell futures. I didn't touch NVIDIA. Sold some S&Ps and sold some Nasdaq futures, and it was not a great. At the time, it was a crappy sale. I covered overnight.
Yeah, me too. I did the same thing.
Yep, I didn't hold them till today. I should have. Hindsight,
Obviously.
Oh, he's in hindsight.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, all right. Well, happy Thursday.
Have a good weekend. We will be
Thank you. Thank you for
doing
watching.
another Unleashed tomorrow.
But let's
Send
just
us your emails.
Yeah, remind everybody, we do the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So today's the last show of the week from 9 to 10 Central Time. Friday, we don't do a show, at least not yet. And so 4 days a week, so for an hour a day. So it's super simple. Turn on, tune in, tell all your friends, and please sign up at Lossdog.com for our crypto giveaway and for our software giveaway.
It's free. I mean,
Yeah.
Free.
what could be easier than that? All right, bye.
Bye.